Hey guys, how are you today, and welcome to free practice 1 at the Australian Grand Prix for the start of our career mode. Here we are, getting into the car. This is F1 2012, by the way, I didn't make that clear. And here we are on our main lap in practice. So let me introduce you to this career mode. First thing you'll notice is we're in the HRT. Big issue with that, there's no curves in the HRT, which obviously puts us at a disadvantage. It's worth quite a few seconds every lap, as I'm sure you know, all you big F1 fans, which means we're going to really struggle in this career mode at the start. And that's not even the worst bit. It's on 50% race length, but the main challenge is every race I'm going to be starting in position 24, so at the back of the grid. So I'll be just skipping qualifying, it'll be the easiest way to make that happen. And so it's basically going to be a last two career mode. And I've seen people do the odd last two challenge, right, to see where they can come. Sometimes they even come first, but not that often, to be honest. So I thought, why not make a career mode out of it? It could be fun. It's just a simple F1 2012 game on the PS3, so there's no mods or anything. And we're starting in the HRT. My aim for this season is to beat the other two teams at the bottom of the grid, so Caterham and Mauritius. That's the aim. And also, if we get the odd point here and there, it'd be nice as well, on professional difficulty. And hopefully in following seasons I'll be able to move up the grid, and eventually I'll be able to win the World Championship, starting from the back of the grid at every single Grand Prix. Leave a like if you want to see this series continue. And now let's go to the Australian Grand Prix. So here we are, guys. It's race day here in Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix, and let's see what we can do. Objective is to finish in 23rd. I'm hoping I can do better than that. And it's one stop. We're gonna stop on lap 12 for the prime tyres. Sometimes I might start on the prime tyre, but Australia is not a track where I'm confident about my pace. In that practice lap, I did enough to beat the bottom guys, but I didn't get enough to the midfield tier. I'll struggle to beat them the whole season, probably. And we're looking here at the qualifying results, where Fernando Alonso took pole position for this race, while home driver Mark Webber in second. McLarens of Button and Hamilton struggled a bit, only coming 5th and 8th, while it was a good day for Kobayashi, Paul Di Resta and Maldonado. Kobayashi in 4th, and obviously Di Resta and Maldonado both in the top 10. Bad day for Schumacher in 13th, and look at that, Felipe Massa in P16 and Perez in P17. Bad day for those guys. But now, I guess, guys, it's time to leave this rubbish garage of HRT and go to the grid for the Australian Grand Prix. So here we are, guys, on the grid of Australia. There you go, you got Fernando Alonso on pole, De La Rosa on 23rd and Rimmon 24th. And it's time.
This is your first race, so concentrate on keeping it clean and a good result should follow. Good luck.
Yeah, that'd be a good start to keep it clean, and the lights are coming on. Come on, Trajan, we're way in Australia. We've got no curves, so we can do nothing at the start of the race. Going through all the settings there, we've got 5 laps extra fuel to use Rich Mix free at some point in the race. Not going to use it quite yet though, because the AI is often quite slow on the first lap, so I don't need it yet. And we're still in P24, but look, Di Resta somehow brake checked, not Di Resta, sorry, De La Rosa, our teammate, has brake checked us there slightly. There's a bit of contact between teammates at the back of the grid, but now we dive up the inside. Get into P22, nearly into P21. Charles Peak holds around the outside, but we get him in the end. And now behind Kovalainen in the Caterham. He has won a race in his career, but he's somehow in Caterham. And we get past him for P20. We've now got the two Brazilians of Senna and Massa up ahead. And we just overtook, oh, look at that, Senna went around the outside, but we just overtook Felipe Massa in an HRT while he's in a Ferrari. And we're going around the outside of Timo Glock, getting him. He's also got no curse, so Mauritius we should be able to beat. If I can't beat the Mauritius, we know it's too hard. And now we've got to chase after Bruno Senna. As we're going through a lap run here, this is the best part of the track, though the hardest bit in this HRT, which understeers like mad, meaning I have to brake earlier and turn the wheel more to make the corners, which obviously I didn't do too successfully there as you go wide. but we're still in the slipstream of Bruno Senna. But I don't think we're going to be able to get anything because he's got colours and we haven't. That's basically the excuse for the season. But there is R&D throughout the season, so the car will improve. And we only have to beat, for me to have be happy about the season, I want to beat the other slow guys. Well, I'm also one of the slowest cars as well, so that's the aim. And look how far ahead the other guys are after just one lap so far. How many seconds is it? 1.7. And yes, as the guy says there, it's going to be a dry race, but look at that. Who is that? Is that Senna? Yes, he goes wide. He's pushed wide by, I'm guessing it's Vern, or yes, John-Eric Vern has pushed him wide. Didn't quite see what happened there. But we've got Senna, who's now fallen behind Clock as well. And we've caught up a lot to these two guys of Vern and Perez. We're getting somewhere now. Are we going to be able to make a move into one of the corners here? But again, look, we understeer so much there. They can do it flat out. We can't. And we lose time. It's pretty simple. And again, we keep understeering. We do go purple there. But that doesn't mean anything because it's only lap 2. And again, they've been able to get away because they've got better traction, better handling, and better straight line speed. And more power. Like, there's nothing this car is good at, to be honest. And that's why there's such a challenge. But now we've got Felipe Massa behind us in his Ferrari, which of course battled for the championship in 2012, although it wasn't Massa, it was Alonso. But never mind. He's probably going to catch us up quite quickly in this third sector. And yeah, here we are. It's now at the end of the third sector and he's right behind us. We put it into Rich Mix 3 to try to get some more straight line speed, but look at that. We had a decent exit. He just flies past us. And it's got to the point where we were too far. He was too far ahead for us even to try a dive bomb or whatever to try to get past him. It's ridiculous. And now he's too far ahead. We've now got Bruno Senna behind us as well. Well, he isn't directly behind us quite yet. He's a few seconds behind. But I don't think we're going to see Massa again in this race. I wish I could compete with these guys. And that's why it's on professional difficulty. But ultimately, I can't in this car. I'm going as fast as the other guys. And they just asked me to try to overtake Massa. And we're now, a few laps later, got Bruno Senna right behind us. As we go onto the replay camera, he had a look up the inside here. But I was able to defend there. Makes a change. But now I can see where this is going. We're going on to the third sector. We're in the third sector quite easily now. We're coming towards the end of the lap. We made that corner for a change. That's one of the toughest corners, you know, in Formula 1. I hate that corner so damn much. But now Bruno Senna's going to have DRS. And you'll see him in the mirror there. And he flies right past us. He had DRS and curves. We had neither. Nothing I can do. We do catch him up a lot in the braking zone. But through here, he has DRS. I don't know why he should have DRS. He overtook us on the straight. Really, we should have DRS in second zone. But that's the way the track's made out. And the game is, what can we do? We tried to get him there. Now Maldonado's overtaking us. This is just getting a joke. Absolutely nothing we can do. Damn annoying. And again, we tried to get a good exit here. We do. We get closer and then he has DRS and he pulls away. Just one update we need in this car. It is curves. We tried to have a look up the inside there. But we're actually now coming to our pit lap. You can now see on the minimap we're so far ahead of our teammate who's the yellow dot on the minimap. And the guys behind are quite far behind. So we're doing well in terms of the guys that I wanted to make sure I beat as a minimum. But at least round here, we're not going to be able to challenge yet anyway. The guys in the next tier of cars, like the Williams, Sauber, the Toro Rossos. Bit of a pain. I'm sure you agree. So now going through the end of sector 2, lap 11. I'm sure you're about to see more understeer in this car. Bit annoyingly. Nothing I can do. I have to just go much slower than I would in that other car, in some of the other cars. But that's the challenge I'm giving myself. We are still in P18. Which is pretty good. I think there must have been one other faster guy behind us. I'm not too sure who it is. But I am sure we'll see him at some point when he overtakes us. Now we have to do it. Maybe somebody made a pit stop. I don't know. But as we now going onto the straight to complete lap 11. And go on to lap 12. If we go on to Rich Mix, as lap 12 is our in lap. Our tyres are quite worn out there, but it hasn't been too bad. And now we're going to have to keep it going. We've got John Eric Verne, he's the guy behind us. Maybe he had a pit stop, I'm not too sure. Going to have a look at the times the other guys are doing. So like Senna for example and Hulkenberg and Ricciardo, they're doing now 1:33, so our best at a 1:35. So that shows the difference between the cars, and the difference is curves. It's a few seconds every lap. I don't know how much it is exactly, but it's quite a bit. And cornering speed as well. I have to slow down more because I understeer. Which means, you know, the car doesn't rotate as much, and it's a bit annoying. But I have to make the best of it, and hopefully in other races I'll get more luck or something. And I'll find, and maybe in Monaco I'll be able to defend more, but it'll be harder to overtake as well. But let's go back to focusing on this race. This in lap, as I said, we have to make sure. It'd be nice to stay ahead of Verne, but I get a feeling he's pitted, so he's going to jump us. But the main thing is people like Kovalainen, Petrov, our teammate, and then Charles Peake and Timo Glock. Those are the main guys. We're falling so far behind as Maldonado. We understeered there again, going on the grass, losing more time, making the tyres dirty when they're so worn out already. But Verne isn't really catching us up quite yet, even though we are on quite worn out option tyres. If we go back onto the replay camera now, just for something different. Do we make this corner again? Yes, we do. And now into the pit lane through our pit stop. We don't hit the wall there, which is a good start. I have done that before. We slow down for the pit lane. Quite a slow pit lane, this one, annoyingly. All the garages are the teams we want to be at next season, or season 3, like McLaren. That'd be cool. Now it's time for HRT to do a pit stop. You can see Caterham about to do a pit stop as well. But I don't think we're going to have to worry about it as we go into the prime tyre, the medium tyre. And let's see what happens in the rest of this race. So come out the pit lane. Nobody here, so we can take it easy on our cold tyres, which of course they warm up soon. Thankfully we can take it nice and easy for now. And now we've gone on to lap 13. Petrov's in the pit lane now, so hopefully we'll jump him. We hit the wall there, still struggling on these tyres, but hopefully it won't happen again. But we jump Vitaly Petrov and his Caterham, meaning we are now the fastest of the slowest cars. The 6 slowest cars were the fastest, as you can see. And now we have to see how the rest of this race plays out. And it's lap 15, and for some reason Sebastian Vettel is in P18. You know, he's to be fighting for the World Drivers' Championship. His teammate is winning, but Vettel's in 18th. What the hell's going on? I mean, as we go wide there and here, hit the marker, and we actually have a spin, and we damage our front wing. That was bad, but thankfully we end up doing a race to go 360. We can carry on, and I'm not going into the pit lane for such little damage. And looking at lap 17, and we're about to lap Timo Glock. He is one of the guys I started behind, obviously, and you know, he's also got no curves, but I'm able to lap him. Like the other guys I'm meant to be racing are quite a lot closer. But for some reason Timo Glock is really struggling in this race, and I've been able to lap him. What is going on with him? Vettel has gone mad. He's going so much faster than me. We go a bit wide there, but we're okay. We're really struggling on these medium tyres. And yeah, Vettel's no longer in P18. There's Verne, who obviously must have made a pit stop already. And Vettel goes to his fast lap of 1 minute 30.3. Our fastest lap is a 1:35.1. So he's 5 seconds faster than us, essentially, which is pretty crap, if you ask me. And there you go, 1:36. But we know he's got the best car, we've got the worst car, so nothing we can do. And Kovalainen is only 3 seconds behind us as well. So we have to aim to not lose out there. We're gonna have a look at the times he does. Hope you don't mind me doing this. And he's doing 1:35, so we know we can do that if we concentrate and push. So if we concentrate and push, we should be able to put away from Heikki Kovalainen. He's probably the fastest of the slower guys, really, but we want to try to beat him on lap 18. Hopefully this is going to be a good lap for us. We go green in that sector. I'm going to show you this lap. So I like this lap. I need to make sure we put away. Somehow I get a feeling he must have caught up to Timo Glock there or something. Because we can't actually gain 3 seconds in that sector. That's just ridiculous. He must have been in traffic. Yeah, I can see in the minimap he is with someone, so that must have been Timo Glock and must have slowed him down. But this is our chance to get away and hopefully not see him again in this Grand Prix. And we're going now 7 tenths faster, nearly 8 tenths faster than we did on the previous lap. So we're on for a good lap and we finally don't go wide there, meaning we controlled our understeer well enough to be safe there. So we go into this corner. Again, the third sector in Australia I find really tough. I find it very hard to hook this right up, to be honest. And especially this corner is really hard. But by slowing down there we did get it. And are we going to go wide here like the other time? We didn't actually hit the wall there, so it's fine. And here is actually going to be our best lap of the race. And this is our best lap of the whole race actually. I thought I'd show you it. I know it wasn't the cleanest lap in the world, but it wasn't too bad. And a 134.3. And now we're being lapped. I'm actually going wheel to wheel with Red Bull. We're being lapped by Mark Webber, I assume, yes. On lap 21. That was always going to happen in the HRT. And once we're lapped, our race is essentially ruined because everyone's going to be lapping us, so we're going to have to keep slowing down. But it does mean we're going to maybe see Kovalainen, which we are now. And he is coming up right behind us, as you may have seen there. But I think we control it. So I think it's going to be okay. But he's going to have, again, TRS. And I think Kovalainen does have curves in his Caterham. I think. Not 100% sure. But he doesn't quite get past us there. You can see the arrows where he was, but he didn't make a move. And hopefully now, we've cleared some of the guys who are trying to lap us. We'll be able to get away again. That has to be the aim. And again, it looks like he has fallen behind a little bit. Now he's over a second behind. And now he's nowhere to be seen as he's being lapped. That's the way F1 goes, essentially. Now, lap 25 has been lapped by someone else. And we're actually going to get DRS for the first time in the race because we were within a second as we went over the line. The DRS activation point and stuff. But even with DRS, we didn't catch up to... I'm thinking that's Nico Rosberg ahead of us, not too sure. We got away from Kovalainen, but we had DRS and here. But we can't even catch up, even though we have DRS, and he doesn't. That shows the difference between the cars, essentially, and that's why I'm struggling a bit in this race to race some of the faster cars, which is a pain. But hopefully, on occasion in the season, I'll be able to do that. And now it's lap 28, so it's lap 28, obviously because we've been lapped. This is our final lap. Mark Webber has won his home race. He never managed to do that in his long career, but here on F1 2012, he has. Nice one for him. Nice one for Australia. He'll be delighted. I love it when a home driver wins a home race. But I think we're quite safe for Kovalainen. Massa is a whole minute in front of us. That's just ridiculous. As we're now coming to the end of this race to go wide again. I think the tyres are getting quite old now. Starting to struggle. But ultimately, in a way, this race has been successful. We managed to improve our lap while the car was damaged, showing how shit our car is. Right, we beat all the slow guys. And of course we are one of them, so we beat our teammate as well, who's so far behind. So we had a successful race actually in the HRT. We can't really complain with that. There you go, we're happy. Beat the teammate objective, which is a good thing. And we're in P19, which for the HRT is like a win essentially. So yeah, you can see our fastest lap of a 134.3 basically matches the other people behind us in similar cars, like the Caterhams and the other HRT, and at least one of the Mauritius. Timo Glock has had a weird race, so I don't know what the hell happened to him. But yeah, that's pretty good. And I guess we're coming now towards the end of the video, as we go and look at who won the races after Webber winning, Alonso second, Button third, and Kobayashi having a strong day in fifth. And we're coming towards the end of this video, so I'll see you next time for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you really enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this and other types of videos, please subscribe to my channel. If you have anything to say in the comments, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Also, go and check out the video that should be on screen right now, and come and follow me on Twitter, BigGaming342, and Facebook, BigGaming342, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.